Today in my Film in America class, we watched Vertigo, which I saw a long time ago, but I didn't really remember. So it's really fun to watch it again now because I remember certain things as scenes played out. I kind of rediscovered the film in a way. Overall, I love how it was shot. There were some very good angles. It felt very colorful and vibrant. All the sets felt very real. I don't know why, but it really struck me. Just they all looked like real places. All the sets. And San Francisco is a great city. I love it. And it's shot really well in this film. The editing is good. It's the classic Hollywood invisible style, but Hitchcock threw in a lot of point of view shots where show the character see something and then it would show what they're looking at. Very effective in this film, especially the vertigo effect named after this film when Jimmy Stewart looks down and the field of view, I guess is what's called, shifts out. Very effective, but it's not over stylized. It fits well in the film. It's a pretty timeless movie. The only outdated part is a dream sequence, which is, it's brief, and it gets its point across. I knew what it was trying to do, and you kind of have to take into account the technology they had at the time, so it's harmless enough because it is pretty brief. To talk about the film anymore, I'm just going to have to break it into the two halves, because it does have distinct part one, part two, pretty much. The plot of the first half is Jimmy Stewart investigating a woman whose husband believes is being possessed by the spirit of her great-grandmother, because sometimes she'll just fade away, go blank, and go somewhere else is how he describes it. Sometimes she'll go do things that don't make sense, and then won't remember doing them. So Jimmy Stewart investigates, follows her, investigates, tries to figure out what's going on. Eventually falls in love with her. She falls in love with him. You know the deal. In the first half, Jimmy Stewart is just pretty good. He can act confused. He can act in love. Everything works, but it doesn't showcase his talent very much. Kim Novak, on the other hand, is especially good in the first half. She plays the wife who's, rightfully terrified of what's going on because she has no idea what's happening. But then when the spirit takes over, she has to be this cold, icy, often intimidating figure. And she switches between the two really well. She's very convincing in both, especially when the spirit takes over. The second half follows Jimmy Stewart mourning the death of his beloved Kim Novak character, and he finds a girl who looks a lot like her, also played by Kim Novak, and he starts dating her, dressing her up like the woman he was in love with. It gets kind of creepy. Kim Novak is very good in this half as well. She's playing a very different character than the two characters that she played in the first half. Just as solid of a performance as those two. But what makes her character great is her internal dilemma that's going on, which I don't want to spoil. Is really interesting and kind of provoking even, and tragic. It's actually really tragic to watch what this woman's going through, and she plays that figure really, really well. This is where Jimmy Stewart absolutely steals the show. It is just fascinating to delve into this character's psyche. We get to see how this tragic event impacted the character. He's totally obsessed and creepy, and it's uncomfortable to watch. It's unpleasant. He feels like a villain for a lot of it, and it's easily one of Jimmy Stewart's best performances. In the end, his character, his performance in the second half carries the entire film. It's what really stuck out to me. It's the most memorable part, in my opinion. The ending, which I don't want to give away, I just have to say, it's not the Hollywood ending, it's the screw you Hollywood ending. It fits the film absolutely perfectly. I don't want to say anything more. You just have to see the film. In conclusion, we need more movies like Vertigo. We need more movies that are slow and deliberate, like reading a novel. It really is a masterpiece, one of the best, and arguably Alfred Hitchcock's finest film. Everyone needs to see it.